10, Josh, but I like when they can score, which they haven't done a lot of, but they get the press set. They're getting back in the press. I think throwing Howard off their game a little bit with that, changing the defense is good for them.
Yeah. Well, Anish just asked John Williams, hey, what does Delaware State need to do to get back in the game? They've got to find a way to stop Seth Towns. He's got a dozen points right now. When he's at the 4, he's a hard matchup. He's a hard matchup for Delaware State, and they're making threes. And right now, Delaware State can't make any threes. That's a big difference.
Back to the scope, Anish. We'll see at the half.
All right, Zubin. Seth Towns is older than Josh Pastner, right?
He's got his PhD. Let's just talk about that. I mean, the guy, and listen, I wouldn't want to be out of college just yet either if I can get my PhD for free, as well as avoid bills as long as I possibly can, because life comes at you hard once you get out there in the real world.
26 years old, and he's a young man who's been through it. Started at Harvard, was the Ivy League Player of the Year as a sophomore, missed the next 2 seasons with a knee injury, transferred to his hometown school, Ohio State, then missed all of 2021 with a back injury, stepped away from basketball, thought he was done, and then wanted to give it one more go with Howard, and he's been an all-conference player. Tavares, meanwhile, the MEAC Freshman of the Year, gets on the board with a 3 and then commits the foul at the other end.
You can definitely tell that he's a little flustered, but was able to get a little momentum in his favor by seeing it go in. And he's a guy that goes in volumes. Once he sees it go in that one time, he can turn it on offensively.
You get the sense Howard has controlled most of this first half, yet only a 7-point game. And Bryce Harris really has not been much of a factor. He was one of the players that was in contention for Player of the Year in the MEAC. Towns misses. It went to Jamari Thomas of Norfolk State. Tavares turbines in. Kicks it out. Long jumper is good by Khyrie Staten, the junior from Baltimore.
Staten has been fantastic as a reserve guy off the bench for Delaware State. You see there, Staten had the pump fake, ward off the first defender, and then also knocked down a tough mid-range jumper over the extended arms of Seth Towns.
Harris to the free throw line. Only 1 point so far. Second leading scorer in the conference. 6'4", bowling ball shoulders. Plays a lot bigger than his height would indicate. One of the coaches was telling me if he was 2 or 3 inches taller, he's a slam dunk bona fide high major player.
Absolutely, and honestly, I think a couple of inches taller, he's also a prospect for the NBA because of what he brings to the table as a serviceable player that can guard, that can shoot the 3, and plays with extreme intensity.
Air ball from Muniz. The putback is there. It's Surgers.
Delaware State accustomed to throwing a press at you from time to time.
Harris almost traveled. It's stolen away. Muniz. Tavares calling for it. Instead, Muniz wants the shot. And last touch, Hairston. It'll stay with the Hornets. Tavares was open.
And Delaware State is able to work themselves back into this game by crashing the boards, creating second chance points. We talk about them being the masters of messy, making the game as messy as possible because they've been able to play in that and they practice in that. And so that's just a comfort for them.
They like the anarchy. Shot clock into single digits. Towns picks up Tavares, the freshman. Tried to dip underneath. It's not there.
There's great vertical defense from Seth Towns and staying up and not committing the foul.
Towns has been the aggressor, 14 in this opening half.
Let's think about Seth Towns and Bryce Harris and Dockery. These are guys that take what the defense is giving them. At this point, it's Seth Towns' moment.
Khyrie Staten, the sweet pull-up. Here comes Khyrie on the handoff. Hairston from the outside. Got it. His third three of the opening half. He's got 14. And a timeout by Howard. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll be back.
Ability from the perimeter.
8 for 16 from 3. Last night, 11 of 21 from 3 against Norfolk State. This is the best three-point shooting team in the MEAC. They've struggled at times defending the three. But Delaware State has only taken 6 three-pointers. They've only made 7 threes in 2+ games here in Norfolk.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the test that they had yesterday has prepared them for just about anything, and playing against one of the top defenses in the conference in Norfolk State.
Tavares gets the bounce.
And you see it, a guy that can score in droves. Once he sees it going that first time, he can be a matchup nightmare.
The press nearly forced a turnover, and Howard will hold for one. Hairston with 5. There's the double, poked away. Comes back to Towns. That beats the buzzer and doesn't go. And the first half comes to an end. Delaware State down 6, seeking its first conference championship and first trip to the NCAA tournament since 2005. Howard trying to go to the big dance in back-to-back seasons. You're watching ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal. We're about ready for the start of the second half in Norfolk. It is the MEAC Championship. Delaware State, the 6th seed. They're the upstart, the underdog in this tournament. Howard, the 4 seed, but they are the defending MEAC champions and the preseason pick in the conference in East Schroff, John Williams. When Howard was able to play loose and free and move the ball with precision, hit outside shots, they were in control. When the game turned into anarchy, Delaware State came back.
A game between two conflicting styles. Obviously, Howard was able to get the ball in the basket by shooting at the perimeter, knocking down high percentage shots. But what you saw was Delaware tighten the screws and start to get themselves open floor opportunities and second chance points. But when Howard can shoot the three, they're the deadliest as they come because of their ability to spread the floor. Ball movement, offensive efficiency, moving the ball down the rainbow creates high percentage shots for them. And so they were able to capitalize on that. Delaware State was able to get paint touches, starting to get to their mid-range jumpers. You see there, Staten knocking down that mid-range jumper, and then second chance points. More opportunities at the basket, closer to the basket, lead to high percentage points for them. And so they were able to create some turnovers, muddy the water, and then play their style of play in the back end of that first half.
Now, three-point shooting continues to travel for Howard. They have been outstanding from 3 here in Norfolk. They were the top shooting three-point team in the MEAC this season. Delaware State, second chance points, 10 of them in that first half. Howard as the higher seed, wearing the whites. Delaware State, the 6th seed, in the black. Seth Towns at 14 points in the first half. Former Ivy League Player of the Year at Harvard. Here's Bryce Harris. Number 2 scorer in the MEAC, gets down low, and every time the ball goes inside, it feels like Delaware State is able to get a hand on it. Khyrie lost it, regains, beats the shot clock, missed the shot.
That's one thing I've noticed about teams that get to the middle of the floor against Delaware State. Usually good things happen, but when you're playing against Delaware State, they are so active with their hands. They're getting deflections or steals because of that, and so you can't have careless dribbles in the paint against this team.
After Robinson missed the wide open 3, Howard back on the attack. Skip pass, Harris lines it up. And he is still without a field goal. Only 3 points, all free throws in the first half.
He's struggled to establish himself in the post, and a lot of that is because he's not getting ISOs down there. It's swarm defense, and so you see a pack of black jerseys surround him once he gets it down there.
Quite literally the hornet's nest. Andrews finds a cutting Robinson, vetoed at the rim by Harris.
Bryce Harris, we talk about, he's not just an offensive guy. He can impact the game on the defensive end because of his ability to get off the ground quickly. Even though he's undersized, he is great at altering shots as well as blocking them.
6'4", averaged a block a game, a steal a game, and almost 8 rebounds. Muniz, beautiful move through the Sequoias.
Yeah, you can see they're getting to do what they do best, which is impact the game in the post.
At Delaware State, the closest it's been since it was 20-16, about midway through that first half. Here comes Dockery, turbines to the rim, and gets 2 shots.
That was one of the few times that we've seen Howard get to the middle of the floor and actually get the ball up at the basket. Usually against this Delaware State team, it's been a struggle for them to get the ball up because Delaware State corrals the ball. All their hands are on the ball at the same time.
Wesley Oba picked up his second foul, junior from England. Came to Delaware State as a JUCO transfer. Dockery started at Maryland, played sparingly in his 2 seasons in College Park. Now in his 2nd season at Howard. Last year had a big 3-pointer toward the end of the conference championship against Norfolk State. Nunez guarded by Warfield. A lot of dribbling. And they're going to call a foul on Oba away from the ball. That's his 3rd. Oba doesn't score a whole lot. He's not a guy they look for in the offensive end, but he does a lot of little things in here, just battling for position. Gets caught dragging Warfield.
Yeah, Oba is definitely needed and necessary for this Delaware State team.
That might have been number 4.
Yeah, and we talk about his impact being a guy that creates second chance opportunities, does a great job on the defensive end as far as corralling the ball down, rebounding it, and making it so you can't get second chance points.
Well, you hate to say it, but so much of how this game plays out will be determined by how it's called. If it's called tight, it favors Howard. If they let them play, it favors Delaware State.
Yeah, Delaware State wants that chaos.
So Oba to the bench. Staten comes in. Warfield airmails the layup.
Warfield, he's down.
It's 5-on-4. Nunez the 3. Delaware State within 2, while Warfield is lying on his back underneath the basket. Now able to get up, and he's hopping off. And remember, this is a Howard team today without Shai Odom, without Dom Campbell, 2 of their bigs. They're without Osi Okoji. They're without A.J. Magbagor. They're down 4 players who are part of their bench. They've had 78 missed games this season by rotation players. That's top 5 nationally.
Yeah, and obviously they have still find a way every game they play to make it competitive. And the reason being is because the bench has had the experience now. The utility guys have had the experience.
Elijah Williams, brother of Jelani Williams, who's out for the season, was one of the top players on the team last year. Here's Muniz, and Delaware State has taken the lead.
That's what Delaware State does. I mean, they can get out in the open floor with the best of them, but they have to get those defensive stops. And right now you are seeing them get defensive stop after defensive stop that is leading to high percentage shots on the other end of the floor.
Cinderella's got a second wind. Harris backs his man down, and that's his first field goal. And Howard back on top. Here comes Tavares, no call. Rims in and out, battle for the board. And we're going to get a foul. Towns pleading his case. And then gets Seth Towns, it's his second foul. Now you can feel the pendulum shift here at the scope.
It's a game of rhythms. It's about, can I maintain that rhythm, which is something that Howard is struggling to do, and can I keep you out of it, which is something that Delaware State is trying to maintain.
And now you got to be careful if you're Howard. That's 3 on Towns. We mentioned all the missing pieces. Warfield just limped off the court. Towns fouled out in the semifinals. There aren't many bodies left. Staten on the drive. Dockery got a piece. It'll stay with Delaware State.
And you can see the bodies are hitting the floor. The urgency is starting to set in on both of these teams. They're understanding the importance of rebounding, which is something that has helped Delaware State. They have the size advantage over Howard, and so they're trying to use that.
Caleb Surgers checks in for Delaware State. He'll inbound. Tavares, the MEAC freshman of the year. Averaging almost 21 a game over his last 10. Backing down Hairston, the fall away, not there. Rebound Harris. Dockery had the matchup and able to draw the foul. 4th team foul on Delaware State. But the Hornets right back in this game.
You see Delaware State getting themselves in a rhythm by getting out in the open floor, knocking down the 3 with Muniz. Big shot. We talk about the 3-headed monster in Tavares, Robinson, and Muniz. Now it is Muniz's time to get himself going. He's attacked the basket, showing his ability to get those paint touches in the open floor, catching and taking the rhythm threes, and he has been the catalyst to how Delaware State has been able to get themselves back in this game.
15 points to lead all scores. 3 of 5 from beyond the arc for the sophomore Jevin Muniz. He was part of the MEAC all-rookie team last year. He has more than doubled his scoring average from a season ago as Dockery, an 81% free throw shooter, gets the first one for Howard. Warfield standing up behind the Howard bench. It looked like he rolled an ankle when he went down, but the injury concerns, which have been an issue all season. It started early with Jelani Williams going down for the year, and then Shai Odom, very talented player, preseason player of the year in the MEAC. He's been in and out of the lineup. Odom, Dom Campbell, 2 of their top bigs out today, along with Osi Okoji, AJ Magbagor. Now Warfield's status is a question. Staten with a sweet move to get around Harris. And Delaware State has a little juice in this second half. They have closed within 1. They briefly took the lead a few moments ago.
That play started with Robinson playing with 2 feet in the paint, being patient, letting his cutters work, and finding open Staten for a layup.
Harris backing down Muniz. Off the window for 2.
Harris has been able to get himself going because of the 3-point threats around the perimeter. They've got to play him isolated.
Staten, he's provided a spark off the bench. He's got 8.
Getting to his spots, he's a mid-range guy, just showing his abilities to get to the high percentage shots that work for him.
Harris has the matchup on Muniz if they can get it to him. Warfield is at the scorer's table. That's good news for Howard. Towns on the drive, lost it. It'll stay with the Bison, and Isaiah Warfield, you could tell he's still limping a little bit, walking on and jogging on gingerly.
I tell you, Nish, that don't look good, buddy. It would look good to me if I'm the opponent.
So if you're Delaware State,
I'm
you get the ball, going right at him.
Oh, I'm going right at that ankle each time. I'm attacking that side.
Warfield, a Liberty transfer where he played for Richie McKay. Shot clock down to 2. Towns hoists. Cannot hit. Warfield keeps it alive. Dockery had it. And he gets clipped by Muniz, who is called for the foul.
Yeah, Warfield doing a good job of keeping the ball alive, hustling, even though he's on one wheel right now. And you see Dockery trying to find a way to keep it alive and drawing a foul.
5 team fouls in the second half on Delaware State. Only 1 on Howard. And Harris goes to work down low. He's getting more comfortable in the second half. Working down low. He's got 2 more shots. And now 1 more foul from the Hornets. And Howard is in the bonus.
We talk about his ability to now get more space because of Howard showing their ability and efficiency from the 3-point line. There's not going to be deeper stunts. There's not going to be defenses over there just overplaying him and helping off of him.
SEC tournament, that has seen some chaos. Auburn right now leading Mississippi State. Florida and A&M, the other semifinal championship game Sunday at 1 on ESPN. Kentucky, Tennessee, both bowing out early.
Yeah, and that's how you know it's tournament play. I mean, you can see the desperation on a lot of these teams, especially the ones that are unassuming, kind of like this Delaware State team.
Muniz had 19 points in the first meeting against Howard. Here comes Robinson. He got off to a fast start. They go right at Warfield. And Robinson able to draw the foul.
Yes, sir. You got to go at him. At this point, knowing that Warfield is a little hurt, you got to go at him and see what he's made of. See how well that foot is working.
Martez Robinson, an 85% free throw shooter. Regular season, Howard won both meetings against Delaware State. In fact, Delaware State has lost 6 straight to the Bison. The Hornets' last win in this series came on the 5th of March, 2020. And in that season, Howard went 4-29. There's a lot of similarities in terms of these programs trying to climb from the gulags up to the penthouse.
Well, I think it's just that get it from the mud mentality. Both of these teams were not given anything. They've had to earn it. And so you can see how they played, how they've been responding.
And there is Muniz again. He's got 17. Delaware State back on top.
Yeah, and we talk about the 3-headed monster of Delaware State and Tavares, Robinson, and Muniz. They all have different things that they bring to the table. Tavares can score it in bunches. And, you know, Robinson is a matchup nightmare. And then you've got Muniz, who is the silent assassin for him.
Harris bully ball down low. And they get Sergers with a foul.
You can see Muniz here just attacking, getting downhill. Once he can get his shoulders in front of you and help side comes in late, he's going to score that ball every time.
Now, it's interesting talking with some of the Howard folks before the game. They said when you look at Delaware State, they remind us of where we were as a program a few years ago. Now, Howard, prior to this 3-year run that they've had under Kenneth Blakely, they'd only had 1 winning season in the previous 29, and Blakely got this thing going few years ago. Last year, they get to the MEAC championship, beat Norfolk State on this floor in Norfolk. Wasn't Norfolk State's home arena. That's Eccles a couple of miles down the road. And now they're back here on the big stage. Delaware State has not had a lot of success in a long time. 6 straight seasons with 6 wins or less. It's been losing season after losing season. They've dealt with coaching changes. They showed signs of life toward the end of last year. And then this season, even a lot of their losses, close losses, games they were right there. And in this tournament, they've shown a grittiness and a toughness. We said it off the very top. This isn't prim and proper ball gown Cinderella. This is Cinderella with ripped jeans, a leather jacket, and brass knuckles.
Absolutely, and so you can see that Delaware State had to adapt to the conference. Coach Waterman had to adapt to the conference, and we talked about him being a finesse guy, but once he saw that it was a man's league, he had to make sure that he brought in the personnel that could withstand the brunt of what the conference delivers.
And he had to adapt. He said, my preference originally was got to play finesse basketball. I realized quickly you can't do it in this league. Hairston in trouble, kicks it out. Towns. No good. Hairston may have gotten away with a walk. Loose ball. And right now this game has turned into a slop fest. It's turned into a mutter. Just how Delaware State likes it.
That is exactly what they want. They are molded by that. They are born in that. That is what they do. It's what their practices look like. So if you don't practice that way, you don't want to play that way. And I don't think Howard plays to that type of level. And so the thing is that they've got to get back to what they do best. Playing in the half court, letting their offense work, not being sped up, making sure that they can dictate pace, play late into the shot clock.
Harris fighting down low, and every time that ball gets into the paint, it just seems black jerseys converge. And now, if you're Howard, at times it's almost as if you're looking for the help to come.
Absolutely, and that's the thing you have to have. You have to be strong with that ball against a team like Howard that has defenders with active hands, always swiping down, always making it tough for you to just get the basket that seems easy, but it isn't.
Howard only 2 for 9 from the field in the second half. 0 for 4 from 3. Loose ball. And we're going to get a foul on Hairston.
Now that situation looked like Hairston was going after the ball. And it got down before, you know, went for those knees a little bit.
We've seen that last night be called as a play on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. You have to adapt to your officiating. And so understanding that that's a no-go, understood, move on.
$17 points for Muniz to lead all scorers. On the drive, Harris may have gotten a piece. Hairston and Towns both had 14 in the first half, none in the second. That ball's tipped, picked off. Here comes Delaware State.
You see how
Muniz, pull up 3, got it! 20 for Muniz.
Huge 3 for Muniz, and you see how active Delaware State has been defensively. It's hard for Howard to get any type of clear passes. The passing lanes are being ate up. Drives, if you have empty calorie drives, they're going to take advantage of it.
Delaware State has already knocked off the 2 and the 3 seed in this tournament. Dockery forced it. Harris chases it down. Second chance. The drop-off. Towns has been tentative here in the second half. Passed up some open shots. Ball never hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation. Big shot, Jevin Muniz leading the comeback.
Created by chaos, and one of the things that Muniz has been able to do is capitalize from the three-point line.